Hello, dreamers, and welcome back to Dream Queen by Perla. As always, guys, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, I encourage you to do so. It helps with growing the channel, getting the video out there for more people, as well as keeping me accountable. For personal readings, all that information can be found down below in the description. I almost choked up my own saliva. And it's so funny because it has to do with what I'm going to say to you, Sagittarius. There is a says, like, I guess I was supposed to take like a deep breath before I started talking, but it was so funny because as I'm setting up for you guys, I'm picking up this energy of like urgency and rush, but it's not so much necessarily from you. There is somebody that is trying to outshine you, or is trying to come in front of you. So you know, like how sometimes when you're driving and you have a car that is like so impatient that they go ahead and yes, a door closed and no, there's nobody here except for the two dogs and they're right behind me, so who knows. Anyways, when a car is like behind you but they're like so rushed that they go to the next lane and they kind of pass you, right? And then it's like once they pass you, the light turns red. So at the end of the day, both of you are on the same freaking red light, right? So it's almost kind of like you're here kind of doing your own thing, not focused on what anybody else is doing or how fast somebody is going, or how much somebody is accomplishing, but on those that are competing with you without you even knowing it are revealing themselves, which is kind of funny to me, to be honest with you, because I always say like your biggest competition is that person staring you back. And when you look in the mirror, right, it's yourself, right? It's that version of yourself of who you were yesterday that you're trying to beat. And that's kind of like the way that I look at life when it comes to anything. Like whenever I go ahead and I start a new project or I start something, it's like I want to be better than what I was yesterday. It's never about wanting to accomplish what somebody else has or how somebody else lives their life, because that is what works for them, right? And it's kind of like, this is the energy that I'm picking up. So this may be somebody at the gym that is doing this. This may be somebody at work. This may be a family member. It's almost kind of like one of those things, like if somebody finds out like you bought a new car, they have to go out and buy a new car. Or you bought a new purse, they need to go out and buy a new purse. But it's not about buying a new purse or a new car. It's about getting one that is more expensive than yours, right? And it's kind of like whoever this individual is really trying their best to outshine you. And what I like about your energy, Sag, is that just with your presence, right, just when you walk into a room, all eyes are on you, right? And that has to do with who you are and how you carry yourself and the way that you treat yourself, right? And the way that you take care of yourself and the way that you show up for yourself. Now, when it comes to this other individual that is trying to outshine you in some way or another, take it as a compliment. Do not get upset about it. Do not get angry at it. Be flattered by it. You know why? Because this person, instead of literally spending all of that time and energy on themselves, they're spending it on you. And to be honest with you, that is an honor in itself. When somebody thinks that you are worth more to them than themselves, right? Because that is what they're doing. When somebody is so focused on what someone else is doing or how someone else is living their life, how they are progressing, they're basically telling themselves like, okay, following their every move and trying to beat them is what counts. So what am I telling myself at that point? I'm telling myself that is more important than what is inside, right? Than who I am, than what it is that my own spirit is trying to tell me. And that's the only thing that I can really tell you. I do pick up this energy where you may get a little annoyed. And again, when that energy surfaces up for you, just be like, you know what? I'm flattered. I'm honored. And just kind of let it go. Because to be honest, there's nothing that you can do this, because I'm picking up that this person, if you were to call them out on this behavior or whatever, they're going to try to twist things around and say like you're jealous of them, right? And this person is not, how can I put it, it's almost kind of like they're being unmasked in front of everyone that the two of you are connected to, right? So if this person was around saying that you were hating on them, or you disliked them, or whatever it was, by their actions and the way that they're going about things in respect to you, or in relation to you, I should say, is unmasking them in front of those individuals. So you're being told not to waste any time or energy trying to prove what you have already seen. Sometimes things are shown to us not because we are meant to call out on other people's sins, and we're going to call it like that just as a reference, guys, but to be aware of what they are, and to be aware of where it is that we are investing ourselves, our time, our energy, right? And maybe this is a connection, or this is somebody that you need to set very strict boundaries with, right? Maybe this is somebody that you don't tell your plans to before you execute them. Now, there are different opinions when it comes to keeping things hush hush, right? There's always like this saying, like, two minds are better than one, or whatever it is. And it is true when it comes to certain things, but there are certain things that if you are let to do them on your own, then you yourself and only you are the ones that are to know what the plan is. So if you're seeing this pattern, and for some of you this is not going to be just one specific person, these are individuals that you share your plans with before you execute them, and it's almost kind of like they want to beat you to the punch, and then they try to execute your plans, but they failed, right? So you need to learn to yes, I get it. You are excited. You have an idea. You have a plan. You have a this. You have a that. Okay. Now take a moment and sit with yourself. Is this something that you're to share with people right now? Or is this something that you have to let speak for itself once you have executed it? And I feel that that is where you have had the biggest challenge, right? When it comes to maybe wanting to put certain things into plan, and then it's kind of like you kind of just don't do it because somebody else tries to beat you to the punch, right? When something comes to you, it is for you. So 100 different people can be trying it after you told them, but it's only going to work for you because that was given to you, right? Let's put it this way. I'm Dominican, obviously, or if it wasn't obvious, I'm Dominican. I say obviously because I've said it before in my video, in other videos, but we have different lotteries in Dominican Republic, and we have this thing called the tripleta, which is like a set of 3 numbers, right? And if they come out, regardless in what order they come out, the conversion of if you play $1 would be like 10 grand, right? So I have aunts and, family members that play the lottery like constantly. And I tell them, I'm like, and I keep telling them, when a number is given to you, stop giving it to other people because it is meant for you. And I'm talking about like when numbers come to you, like through dreams or like through meditations or whatever. And because I have family members that tend to tell the numbers to everybody, and then the numbers don't come out, right? And one of the examples that I gave was that years ago, probably like over 12 years ago, I'm not a gambler like that, let's put it that way. And a number was given to me, 3 numbers were given to me in a dream. And I was going through financial difficulties, let's just put it that way. I had 3 kids in 1 year. I was not back at work. My twins were, newborns and all of this stuff. And I fell asleep, and in my dreams somebody literally came to me and was like, oh, you need to play these three numbers. And I was like, but I don't play. And he goes like, well, you're gonna have to play them. So I remember calling up because I didn't know like where to go ahead and play them, and I told my mom, I was like, I need you to, you know, take me where these numbers. And then there was a conflict of issue, and then I sat down and I was like, okay, but if I give her the number, I need to specifically tell her not to tell anybody, and she's not allowed to play them for herself. So I called her up again and I was like, okay, play these numbers for 7 days straight, but do not give them to anybody, do not mention them to anybody, and do not play them. They are not for you. Day 1 went by, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. So the 7th day comes up, right? And I go ahead and I get the kids to bed. I go to sleep. I'm already sleeping. Like around 11 something at night, my phone rings. And it's my mom. I can barely hear what she's saying. She's like super excited. And then I'm like, Mom, I can't understand what you're saying. Like, take a deep breath. And she's like, your numbers came out. And I was like, thank you, God. And I left it at that, right? And that's kind of like what you have to understand. When something is meant for you, right, and you're being told to be hush about it, it's not about being selfish or about being greedy. It is something that let's put it this way, it may be something that you need to get to that next level. It may be something that you need to get you past that hump, or it may be the one thing that allows you to break through that ceiling. But when you're constantly sharing and spending your energy and speaking about it and not actually taking any actions from it, it's almost kind of like starts to slip away. So let's go ahead and let's pull out some tarot just to clarify it. So we have the Knight of Cups in the reverse, the Eight of Cups in the reverse with the Nine of Swords. So there is this energy, again, as annoying as this may be, or as frustrating as the energy may be, the best way, let's put it this way, to fight it or to kind of release it from your space for whoever it is that is trying to pull a fast one on you or is trying to outshine you or whatever, is just take it as a compliment. There is a perception change here that is needed. Bless you. Bless you. Whichever of the dogs that is sneezing. So let's go ahead and let's put out a love energy card. Now, the love energy doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship, even though it can be. This can be a platonic relationship. This can be your self-love, your passion for your job or for your hobby. Give me one card, Spirit, for Sagittarius. One card for Sagittarius. We have the palm tree. The palm tree talks about stability, security, growth, endurance, and flexibility. So there is a need here for you to, again, have a different perspective on how it is that you respond or you react to other people's behavior, right? Not everything, even if this person is trying to just outshine you, it may feel personal. But at the end of the day, those are unresolved things that person is unwilling to dive in within themselves to truly find themselves. That copying you and trying to be like you is the only way that they find any satisfaction in life. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a closing message. So give me one card, Spirit, one card for Sagittarius, one card. So we have the she-wolf, unleash the wild within. You're being advised to literally just follow you. Just continue to be you. And just know that the more authentic you are, the more that you are your true self, without comparing yourself to others, without trying to be like others, you are going to come across people that do not know who they truly are and are going to want to be like you, are going to try to copy you. And that's just part of the title, love, and enjoy it. That is all that I have for you for this week. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.